Welcome back to the channel. So we are back at my competition M3, my E46 M3 running the S54 engine. So if you've seen the previous episode, we've got the engine out and yeah, this episode we're going to do the engine bay, tidy all up the engine bay, and what I've just been doing there now, I have the Extreme Racing's clutch on this, so I've just took it apart and not a real expert on these clutches, so I'm just going to show you what I'm looking at here, and you might be able to tell me in the comments, do you think I should replace it, get new discs and new plates for it? There does seem to be a little bit of meat on it, but yeah, some of you guys may know, so I'll show you it now. It doesn't look overly bad to me. There does look to be a good bit of wear on the plates, but I'll show you now and see what you guys think. So that's the first disc off, and as you can see, yeah, it seems to be, I don't know, is it more heat that has caused that? The first disc, so I'm just trying to take them off the way I got them. It does seem to be a good bit of meat on it, but again, heat. Then the next disc is the same. It seems to have a lot of heat on it. And then the last disc, look, it seems to be a little bit on it, but I don't know, when I'm this far, what do you think? Should I replace all this? Get new discs? Not quite sure. And then you can see the heat on this as well, and yeah, I don't know, has this seen this day, this clutch setup? Do let me know in the comments, but yeah, it has got a lot of abuse, a lot of abuse. So yeah, do let me know in the comments about that situation. So yeah, I'm going to strip most of this off, strip as much off as the engine as I can, so just leave it easier for transporting and stuff like that, and yeah, tidy this up. Looks a bit messy, so need to get all this mint again. Okay, that is the Extreme Race clutch fully taken off it, and yeah, do let me know in the comments what you think. Should that heat scoring on the disc, should that be okay? Do let me know. It's extremely windy today, so don't mind my door. Yeah, so I noticed like sort of gritty stuff, but it's probably just, I'd say, Loctite that would have been put in along with these, so I need to clean all that up again. And I'm finding loads of like random pipes that are doing absolutely nothing on this engine, like this one here, which is like a return, I don't know, to the sump or something. So I need to tidy up all them bits and pieces, and then there's bits of this that goes nowhere, so I'll tidy up all of these, and I need to find this wire that I cut. I need to find where that goes in the car, and do I need it anymore is another thing. So you sort out all these wires, because half of them are definitely not used. They're all to our Syncotech dash, so they will be used again. But a lot of this stuff, we need to find out where it's going, what it's doing. Do we need it or do we not need it? Yes. So as I said, there's loads of bits of pipes and bits and pieces that are going nowhere, so I want to try and figure out, just get rid of all the junk off this engine and leave it as simple as we can. Okay, got that shine back up, and used my nice little heat shrink joiners, and yeah, won't be making that mistake again. I still have a power wire here that is running somewhere, and I don't even know what it's running for, but I will probably have to join that back up. And this is an earth wire, which is probably for the OBD. But anyway, that's that mess sorted, and yeah, I think that engine is just about ready to go. My take off the alternator, take the fan off, take a few bits off that might get broken transit, because I want to keep it as safe as we can. Right, so we're nearly there, and then get to tidying up this. Actually, doesn't look too bad for something that I painted with a brush, but we tidied it all back up. And subframe as well. Yeah. Oh, why do I take these jobs on? But anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there. I was talking to Gary Short as well. Gary Short should be coming later on this episode, and we need to bolt back on the front frame and a few bits and pieces, because we have the new bumper coming from this. Might show you in this episode, might not. We might keep it as a big secret. But yeah, we just need to line all the car, front of the car back up, try on the bumper, make sure it does work. As I says, should we reveal it? Should we not reveal it? You just have to watch on another bit. I'll have to talk to Gary and see what he says. But yeah, there's a new front bumper, new wings, new quarters, new rear bumper. I don't know about side skirts yet. New bonnet, new boot lid. This is going to be a whole new car. It's going to be crazy. I plan to go as crazy as possible with this thing. For competition car, I'm probably bonkers, because I drive the living hell out of this thing, and shit is going to get broke. And just because I am putting a whole new kit on this doesn't mean I'm not going to drive it hard. I'm going to drive the living daylights out of it, but it's going to be looking cool for the first couple of events out, and then yeah, Gary may be busy fixing fiberglass. But yeah, let's tear into this, try and get this cleaned up. Another pain in the ass. This bolt here on the top of the engine mount is completely seized. This is the same one that actually had no bolt there. So yeah, it is completely seized. Let's see when we put in the vise, will it take it or will it just spin? That is well in there now. So I think it could be time for some new engine mounts. I'll try and save it. It might do as a spare someday for somebody. But maybe some WD-40 might help the situation there. So as we dive further into the S54 rebuild on this competition car, 202 sensors, just left there, not been used, so probably will put blanks in here because there's absolutely no need for them. I know when you are mapping these, any of these BMWs, I think you map these two sensors out and you just use the sensor further back in the exhaust. So yeah, we'll be blanking these out, take them out, and we can blank them. I'm just going to take off the exhaust manifold. I'll just leg off this side because, as you've seen, I had to get the engine mount out. So I'm just going to leave that off as well. Just strip most of the engine right back, tidy it all up, and yeah, as I said, just try and get rid of stuff that that isn't being used. Like this is another breather here. Definitely think we look about deleting that because it's doing nothing. So I have to do a research on that, or you may tell me in the comments, is there a delete for this? Do let me know, would be quite handy. It's not being used. Is it serving a purpose? I don't know, but do let me know if there's a block kit that I can get for this. Just get rid of it, and do let me know. This is a learning curve for me with S54s. I've never worked on them, but I really do want to learn about the S54 engine. I want to know everything about it, because I really do love this engine. It's an unbelievable performing engine. So this is the whole reason for doing this, stripping it all back, doing the bearings in it. But yeah, I really do want to learn more about these. So I'm hoping you can help me in the comments and let me know, is there delete for this? Obviously deleting these as well. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff on this that I don't know. Should I use, should I not use? But yeah, I'm going to take the exhaust manifold off as well while I'm here, strip everything back, and at least then when we're doing the bearings in it, there's not so much clutter around the engine as well. So yeah, doesn't really look like much now, does it? Right, I have basically all the hot side, if we're to call it, stripped off. So I've got the manifolds off the engine. Came off pretty easy, thank God. No head studs, or no studs in the head. Were seized or anything, so it came off pretty okay. So yeah, hot side off. I just have the fan belt off. So I'm going to remove the power steering, the alternator. Going to remove them. I do have a new power steering pump, which I'm going to fit to this engine. Won't be doing it now until we get the bearings and stuff done in the engine, but new power steering pump. I'm going to take the alternator off it and go and get that checked. Checked over it, make sure it's all right. I actually pulled a lump of rubber out. It was probably from T-side. There was so much rubber on the track, I actually found a bit of rubber inside in the alternator. But new power steering pump, and get the alternator checked over, make sure all is okay there, and yeah, just strip right back. And once I have the new bearings in the bottom end, new bolts, new power steering pump, alternator checked over, everything all checked over, so it'll be a really, really good engine. So yeah, just basically prepping it, getting it ready to be sent off to get the bearings and the bolts done in it. And yeah, shed's an absolute mess, but kind of happy I'm doing this. As I says, I really do want to learn more about the S54, so that's what I'm doing. Just dive right into it. People say, you've never done it before, but sure, what's the worst can happen, like? So you learn as you go, and just at the end of the day, it's about having a good engine. You've ripped it apart, you know what you've done, what you haven't done. So that is the whole point of doing all this for me anyway. And maybe it might help you guys at home as well. If you are doing something like this, you probably wouldn't attempt to touch it, but that's just me. Tear into it and see how it goes. So another bit of a random piece that there was nothing going to there, and it was blocked there. So that's another wee part. Yeah, so just basically taking all the stuff off that we don't need. Got the power steering pump off. As it says, new power steering pump, and the alternator's off there now as well. I don't really have much more strip off. I'm going to leave the loom on it. I'm going to basically leave everything else on it now. The fan, it's a bit of a pain to get off. These Vistus fans are anti-clockwise to tighten and clockwise to loosen. I think that's right. I'm nearly sure that's right. So it's basically clockwise to loosen this and anti-clockwise to tighten it. But yeah, it just keeps spinning when I try. And usually, like, if you get a chisel or something, just hit it a quick dart, it would loosen off. But yeah, run a bit. I leave it there. I think I might do away with this and run a big electric fan this year. Do let me know in the comments. Should I stick with the viscous? Should I run electric? I'm not sure, but I'm sure somebody's going to tell me in the comments which would be the best thing to do for the S54. Some luck there now, boys. So I just took the steering rack out. I did have a purple tag steering rack for this car, but I told Rowan, one of the lads, was badly stuck for a rack, so I gave him my purple tag rack. But then talking to the other lads on track and stuff like that, I was just saying, like, purple tag are a little bit overrated, purple tag steering racks. So I don't know, I might just stick to the steering rack, just a silver tag rack, standard rack. Some lads swear by the purple tag, I don't know. So I was kind of put off with it when lads says it's not all it's meant to be. But anyway, I have it ripped out there now, the steering rack. And as you seen in one of the previous videos, we had a bit of a smash in Mondello, so I do need to get some new tie rods and inner tie rods and outer. I'm just going to put all new on it. In terms of steering arms, we are using the extended E46 arms. I'm kind of tempted because KD Customs, sponsor Abby's and a very good friend of mine, they do the IRP lock kit. I'm very tempted to go IRP. I don't know, I think this is I suppose I want to leave this car as modern and as best as we can. These are very handy because we also have spares to them, but I'm sure Neil uses a really good spares, has a really good spares department for IRP. So yeah, what should I do? Stick to the old 36 modified hubs. I think it's 2022 now. I think we need to upgrade all this on the front. Extremely happy with the big 330D brakes in the front of this. Very, very happy. And the BC Racing coilovers, absolutely brilliant. I may be going up a spring rate or two on these because I've done something I shouldn't have done on these. I tensioned up the spring just to make the front feel a little bit harder, which I shouldn't have done. So I do need to go up a spring rate or two on this because the front of the car was very floaty. I didn't like it. To be honest, if I was running an anti-roll bar, I probably wouldn't have had that. So we may look at running an anti-roll bar. And I just know something. That shouldn't be moving. So that is loose. Yeah, this is the whole point of building and rebuilding. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll talk to Neil, see what sort of deal he can do on the IRP. It would be so nice to get a whole new IRP in there. IRP lock kit with the BC Racing would be a pretty good combo. Plus, this is just like, I want to build this basically a new car, and this just doesn't cut. This just looks shit looking. So, and all this needs to be tidied up in here as well. So yeah, what it all started out as is just doing the bearings on the engine. It may go out of control very, very quickly. So, right, I'm going to leave that for today. Not the end of this episode, but for today. I think I have enough ripping done for one day. And then we're going to take it off the wheels, drop the whole front suspension, get this engine bay all prepped up, and tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow. It's just giving me so much food for thought now. Any companies out there want to help me? Please do contact me, because as I said, it started out with a little simple, do the bearings in the bottom end, do the bolts, and then put it all back together and car's fine and we run. But now that I've started ripping, I really want to do an unbelievable job on this. So yeah, any companies want some products they'd like to see run on my car for the 2022 season, and you see this, or if you know of anybody, do tell them about Niall Goes Drifting, because we want to try some new products in this car. And yeah, because I want this to be absolutely unreal, and I'd love to work with some new companies. And as I said, we talked to Neil and Katie Customs, see what he can do with the lock kit and what else he has. He may have some other ideas for the car as well, so we talked to him about that. But yeah, I think I want to build a whole new car here. Start from scratch, rebuild it all again, inside out, back to front, underneath, the whole lot. Want a proper competition car. And I know when I've this done, this will do me for years to come. So that's the whole plan. Reveal for this car, completely done, is the 2nd of July, which will be the Drift Games Bash in Mondello Park. It's going to be 2 days of serious drifting, partying, music, everything. It's going to be unreal. That is the goal. If all fails and we don't get that, the other date we're aiming for is the 17th of July for Old School New School Car Show. I hope to have this thing absolutely show standard for that. But Drift Games Bash 2nd of July, that is my first aim, and the second aim then will be the 17th of July for Old School New School Car Show. So I got a little bit ahead of myself in the shed today, so I'm currently stripping out the whole front. As you've seen, I am running the E46 extended arms. As I'm taking it out now, I'm going to talk to Neil and Katie Customs, see what I can do on the IRP. In terms of the engine, I'm at a little bit of a standstill with the engine for a minute because I've only ordered the ARP bolts. So done a bit of research last night. They are M11, so they're M11 right up to like the first 03, and then after the first 03 on, they're M10s. So I know this is an O2 engine. I think it's a November O2 engine, so it definitely should have the M11s in it. So I've ordered a set of the M11s. So I have the ARP bolts and the ARP bearings as well. So waiting for them to come. So while I'm waiting for them to come, I'm currently stripping out the 36 arms, the BC Racing coilovers, and my 330 brakes, all ripped out of it. Looking at the 330 brakes, definitely going to run them again. Earlier on last year, you probably wouldn't have seen one of the episodes, we got new calipers, so they're all good. Maybe new discs this year just to top it all off. But yeah, let's go around to the front and see what's going on. So I got all this side ripped out, and again, the same as Abby's car, this is extremely ugly, so we need to tidy all this up. Got brake fluid dripping everywhere now. But yeah, just nearly ready to drop out the BC Racing coil over here and the 36 arm, extended 36 arm. Drop them two out, and then I'm going to drop the subframe, and then I just noticed another bolt missing here. Right, better put something back in there. So I'll take that out. I might just leave this area. It's pretty okay. It's pretty clean in there. So I might leave that. We're going the same color again. So basically I'll just be refreshing all of this area because that area is pretty okay. Leave that the way it is and then refresh everything else, including the subframe. And yeah, we're getting there. It's just like deja vu all over again with Abby's car, my old E46, Keelan's car. We do this with every car, so it's just second nature now. But look, it leaves the engine bay nice and tidy for a little while until you go to a wet, dirty track and all the shit goes up in there into your engine bay. But I suppose for the big reveal of the car with the whole new kit and everything, it will look the business. S54 sits there for now. Mad notions to about that thing, but just budget. Definitely not going down that road. So we'll just keep that engine, refresh it, leave it nice and safe, and that will do it 100% fine. Okay, get back to taking this out and get ready for repainting. I really did tighten these a little bit too tight, but yeah, shout out to Halfords. Any tool companies out there want to sponsor me with some proper tools? Yeah, so that's gone. So now I need to go and find another 8mm somewhere strong enough to take these off. So a couple of bits later, I've got it out. Yeah, note to self, do not tighten them as tight anymore. Focus. Tries to look okay in it. Not that it's going to focus for me. Yeah, they look okay. So just in way too tight. So I won't be doing that again. I've lost a couple of bits to that. So this should be. I just come down. Good job. So that's that out. That's on the driver's side. That's all the passenger side. So we are getting there. I think Abby's off work or off school this week, so yeah, I'm working the night shift again, so I might get Abby to actually clean that all up, and Abby is very good at the painting, so we might get her to paint all this for me, clean up that subframe things. Right, drop this BC Racing coilover out and then remove on my fire suppression system. And then we should be pretty good to go. Let off that earth. Just clear out the engine bay. And it should be a clean sheet then for Abby to get to work. Okay, that's the engine bay completely stripped. Subframe, suspension, arms, everything is fully stripped back. So it's time to get out of here, do the full overhaul, and get all of this tidied up. And yeah, just thinking, why do I do this to myself? But it is my competition car and it has served me very, very well, and I want to maintain it and I want to have it absolutely mint. As you probably know, I bought this car in 2019, bought off Harry Kerr, and they had their own twist on it. They built the car, but I want to fully rebuild the car now and have it completely my own car. So it's going to be a totally different setup, front, back, inside, the whole lot. So it'll be, I suppose, hopefully all going well, my 2022 competition car. Super excited to say that. So I have a lot of hard work to put in this, in getting Abby going, and also organising Old School New School car show as well. So I'm doing the entries at the minute. I'm just logging all the entries, and I spent maybe 3 hours at it last night, and I've over 100 entries logged, and there's probably 400 or 500 more entries along with that. So it does take time. You know, what we are looking for is we're looking for the overall appearance of the car. We're looking for interior, exterior, engine bay, overall presence, all that sort of stuff. So that has to, it's rigorous enough, like, so getting through that. And yeah, so what I might do is I'm going to leave it for this episode. We get all the bits we need to do the engine bay and get Abby on the job. And the next episode then we will be transforming this whole engine bay, getting paint laid down on it again, underneath the turrets, getting all cleaned up, and hopefully we'll be getting the bolts for the S54 fairly soon as well. So look, let me know in the comments, are you looking forward to this build? What do you think should I do, as seen as I'm starting from scratch? Do let me know. If you have any tips and tricks in building one of these, let me know as well. I'm always open to it. So yeah, let me know what you think about rebuilding my competition car for 2022. Let me know in the comments. I will reply to you all, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of rooting and ripping apart. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and share this video. Share this video wide, because we put up a lot of videos on Facebook and, on YouTube, and getting very little shares to Facebook. So if you do find this interesting, if you think it might help somebody, do share it to them, share it to your social media, and we may be doing something fairly soon. But yeah, do get the word out there, and we'll see you on the next one.